Colonia, New Jersey, a suburban hamlet located within sprawling Woodbridge Township, filled with residents who grew up here and then stayed here to raise their families. Matt DeSellis married one of those locals. He and Angela spent 20 years together raising a family until her health took a turn for the worse last summer.
They found a tumor about the size of a golf ball in her left side of her brain, the most malignant type you can possibly get.
Angela died of that malignant brain tumor on February 17th. We met Matt Thursday outside Colonia High School, where Angela graduated, a place he believes ties more than 100 other families together in grief and loss. That's how many Colonia High students and staff have been diagnosed over the years with both malignant and benign brain tumors.
I think it was wrong of whoever started calling this a cancer cluster to use that phrase. It was ill-informed.
On Thursday, inside the school gymnasium, Colonia's mayor and 2 state commissioners announced there is no evidence of an environmental threat and no cancer cluster in Colonia.
Are we essentially chalking up all of these cases to a coincidence?
I don't know if I'd call it a coincidence. I would leave that up to the Department of Health for what to call it. But they're
how would you characterize it?
Maybe an unfortunate, I don't know how I would characterize it. The numbers seem to be in line with historical numbers, with expected numbers.
2 weeks ago, Pix 11 News introduced you to Matt's brother-in-law and Angela's brother, Al Lupiano, an environmental scientist who did the research and compiled the list of brain tumor patients who all spent years at Colonia High.
I put my hand on her head and I made her a promise. I said, I got it from here. Today we sit at 120 individuals, all with very rare primary brain cancers.
Al, class of 1989, recovered from a benign brain tumor back in the 90s, and so did his wife, Michelle, class of 91. Add Matt's late wife, Angela, class of 95, and perhaps now you can understand why he's not willing to accept the report's findings of no abnormal radioactive readings here at the high school. Matt also wonders why investigators limited their testing to above-ground materials and radon, but not the soil under the school.
I think they haven't done enough. If you were to go to the doctor and you were sick, and you went in there and the doctor said, oh, you're fine, but you knew something was wrong, would you want to keep trying to find out what's wrong with you? I think it's silly that they won't do any other testing.
State Department of Environmental Protection Commissioner Sean LaTourette offered an analogy to explain the decision not to test the soil.
To do something otherwise would be like going to the dentist and saying, I know you're telling me that I don't have a cavity, but please drill my tooth anyway. And there's no need to do that here because there's no cavity. We understand here that there is no source of environmental exposure that we can identify. And that can be hard to hear when you have an ailing family member or an ailing child. I so deeply understand that. I'm a parent.
Matt DeSellis, now a single father, has 2 daughters who attend Colonia High School. He says he's thinking about pulling them out and sending them to another district. We're live in Colonia tonight. Jay Dow, Pix 11 News.